This is my audience, Aaron Fraser. As soon as we left the ground, I knew I myself had to fly, said Amelia Earhart when she got to fly on her first open cockpit biplane. Her full name is Amelia Mary Earhart. She was born on July 24, 1897 in Atchison, Kansas. She was born to Amy Earhart and Edwin Earhart. She had a little sister named Mariel. They both lived with their grandparents so they could go to private schools. Amelia saw her first airplane when she was 10 years old at the Iowa State Fair. At first she was not interested in them. She wanted to be a nurse and served as a volunteer aid detachment nurse at a military hospital. Then, in the fall of 1919, she enrolled in pre-med at Columbia University. But a year later, she decided to join her mother and father in California. A couple of months later, after she arrived in California, she and her father went to an aerial meet at Dutch Tree Field in Long Beach. This is where she had the interest for flying. The next day, she was flying as a passenger on an open cockpit biplane for a 10-minute ride over to Los Angeles. She took flying instructions from a female pilot named Anita. That she then purchased her own airplane. It was a Kenner Airstar. In October of 1922, Amelia was the first female pilot to reach an altitude of 14,000 feet. Later on, she sold her airplane and moved back with her mom. On April 27, 1926, Captain H.H. Rayleigh asked her if she wanted to be the first woman to take a flight across the Atlantic. She was only a passenger, but still she was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. On Sunday, June 3, 1928, they left for Halifax, Nova Scotia after being delayed from bad weather. Then on June 18th, they finally left Halifax after being again delayed by bad weather. Their journey finally reached Bury Point in South Wales instead of Ireland because they were low on fuel. This journey was when she became well known. On June 1st, she was setting off for the longest flight across the world. It started in Miami, but after a couple of stops in South America, Africa, the subcontinent, and Southeast Asia, they arrived at Lea, New Guinea on June 29th. The rest of the trip would be over the Pacific Ocean. Earhart never made it across the Pacific Ocean. They did not have the right equipment to radio to the base, so they lost their location. She died in 1937, but they are not sure of the day because she went missing. Amelia Earhart was a wonderful woman. She inspired a lot of women to follow their dreams, and she was one of the most well-known female pilots.